Welcome back to the free-to-play account. Started this in June, and I wanted to see how we would do going into rotation with this profile, starting from absolute scratch. I even did the tutorial. Yes, even went through the tutorial. And I made a bit of a mistake going into rotation. That mistake was that I thought that Selesnya Enchantments were going to be much better even than they were before rotation. Pre-rotation, this deck was phenomenal. Now, post-rotation, the win rate for this deck is actually right around 40% if you consult on tapped.gg. Now, I don't think it is that bad. I think that this is especially good to move up into platinum, but whether it does well in platinum or not, that is something that we're going to have to see. I am going to have to run this deck. I'm going to have to do it because our resources on this are very scant. We don't have a lot to work with, and I don't feel like opening these packs yet. I still want to draft with this profile. So we need to build up our economy again so that we can continue to draft cards that will probably help us along the way. I have been drafting, but it's nothing worth really showing. I mean, unless you want to see me just draft a bunch of rare cards and then die. That's basically what it's been, because I mean, you get past terrible rares and you're taking them because you're drafting to build your collection, and lo and behold, you can't really compete very well. That's one reason why I highly recommended doing the what would you call it, this sealed event that's going on. That's why that was highly recommended, because you could get packs for, you know, and you don't have to worry about what rares you're picking up along the way, because you only get 6, and those 6 are, you know, the ones you get. And then you get 3 packs on top of it, and then you can win your way into getting a lot of your gems back. We only got 3 wins in that round, and did 2 quick drafts just to build a collection, and we got these 2 extra packs of New Capenna. I think New Capenna is a very solid set in Standard right now. It's very, very strong. Kamigawa has its strengths, but overall New Capenna has more value in it, I do believe. And Dominaria sits somewhere in between those two. Besides these really, really, really powerful cards that came out of Dominaria, I mean, like Soldred, or let's go through. Yeah, the Lurgoyf. Lurgoyf is really good. Ivy is very good. You have a bunch of really good stuff just in and of itself. Elves can be good with the Leaf Crowned Visionary. I mean, that's something that we could look into. We also have stuff like the Haughty Jin. I like the Aether Channeler. I really, really do. Phasing of Zalfir, I think, is really good. You got Gix. Cruelty of Gix is very good. And you got a lot of really good stuff that are coming out. I like Squee. I like Squee. We might do a Goblin deck. Would you guys like a Goblin deck? I think it's kind of nice. But you got all this good stuff that's coming out, but a lot of the... Oh, King Darien. Cannot forget about King Darien. Anyway, so you got all that value, but I think the real charm in Standard right now is going to be from either New Capenna or from Kamigawa. I think that that's going to be the good stuff. Even the Crimson Vow still has a lot of value out there, and yes, those cards will rotate, but so will everything except for Dominaria. Dominaria is going to be the next kind of setup for next year, but we want to compete this year as well. So the way I see it is you focus Dominaria and you work on building out something with your Instagrad, Kamigawa, Streets of New Capenna, and Crimson Vow. Those are the structure of Standard right now. Unfortunately, I put a lot of faith in Enchantments getting a lot of buffs this early on. Unfortunately, they did not, and they have a 40% win rate on untapped.gg. Now, I think that, you know, these cards are a lot better, and we are playing on the free-to-play profile, so our mana isn't quite 100% as fixed as I would like it to be, but this is the deck. I mean, this is a very standard, very traditional enchantments deck that we've seen over and over and over again, except for I'm not going to bust any wild cards for this, so we're going to be running 3 Jukai Preservers as well, instead of Hallowed Haunting. I would say Hallowed Haunting, But instead of Hallowed Haunting, we're running Jukai Preserver. It's a common. It's super easy to get, but it doesn't have a whole lot going on for it, except for that channel ability is really nice. You could channel it, discard it, put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 creatures you control. And this video is basically to demonstrate that you don't have to, you know, submit to using our wild cards. We don't have to submit to using our wild cards in order to get wins, to get coins, to get back into these drafts, to get more cards. We don't have to do that. Instead, what we're going to do is we are going to use this Selesnya Enchantments deck to get as far as we can with this profile. As you can see, the old winning deck here, the goblins. This is how I got this profile as far as I did. Every single card is now illegal. For 3 months, every day I would get on and I would just smash things with goblins for 15 wins. So, and whenever you're building a collection out, whenever you're trying to, you know, compete in standard and even in ranked, right? That deck got me all the way up to diamond tier 1, that goblin deck did. But you want something fast. You want something unexpected as well. For a long time, people weren't playing goblins, even though they were good. Mono red kind of moved to the side. And I think people were playing so many enchantments that they were just everywhere. Everybody was playing enchantments. Everybody had Kami of Transience, Weaver of Harmonies, Jukai Naturalist. So people started playing around this format quite a bit. And it weakened the deck, not because this is a bad deck, but because people were playing around it. Well, what happens if we go into matches and people aren't playing around it? If you don't know any of these cards, this deck relies very heavily on Kami of Transience, getting those 1/1 counters on him. Whenever getting him so big he has to be removed. And when you remove him, you can return him to the graveyard. As soon as an enchantment dies on your side of the field, he returns to your hand and you can recast and re-go. Yeah, I think that this deck is actually better than people think it is. And we're going to get into some matches here in a moment. Now that people aren't expecting it, how does it fare? I honestly don't know. We did lose the ruins, and we didn't really get a whole lot to replace those ruins. But I would like to see how this is going to do anyway. Before we jump into the matches, make sure that you leave a like and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. It really lets you know whenever videos are coming out. It lets you know when this free-to-play content is hitting the ground and how we're going to grow this account in particular to be competitive without spending a penny. As you can see, I still have yet to even buy the one-time purchase of the welcome bundle. For $5, you get 5 packs and 200 gems, right? 2,500 gems, 5 packs and 2,500 gems for $5. It's a great deal, but we're not going to buy it. And we certainly aren't buying this $15 deal. Ugh, $15 for card sleeves, an avatar, and 3,500 gems. Yeah, not a great deal. We're not going to be doing any of that stuff. We are building this out from scratch. Join me in that journey. Okay, so we got 2 mana. We've got the Naturalist and Kami of Transience. I'm guessing Kami first. Alright, we're matched with a Bank Buster. Looks like a pretty big deck player. I mean, most control players are playing Reckoner Bank Buster. It's a good card. For 2, there's nothing to counter or nothing like that. Pay 2, draw a card. Kaito Suzuki.
Hope you're ready for some numbers.
The question is that fast enough? We will find out. Let's see how fast he can play. Alright, here's 6 of face. Let's show him that he has to respect us. Respect our board state, respect our deck. Alright, we got the Weaver though. Gets a damage off. And goes straight forward, doesn't he? Target creature, that one. let's also continue to make him respect our board state. Touch of the Spirit Realm. We're going to get rid of that Airtight Resurrected. We don't want him drawing any more cards. We could play the mana, but I don't... Yeah, we kind of want to because we want to get Harmony out. But we'll swing first. Go to the Kaido. Get rid of that. Weaver of Harmony. And let's pass turn. Cut down on the Weaver. Not my favorite way to lose the Weaver of Harmony. Alright, we should get our Kami of Transience back this turn. This is only target creature, so this artifact is fine, unfortunately. Opponent hasn't had the chance to be drawing any cards. He's had too many other good things. How are you still playing only in silver? Alright. This is going to be a juicy turn. Let's swing. Takes him down to 12. Dog. I should have put Kami down first. Oh well. Nice and juicy turn. Mishiko is a 4/4. Ah, Catilda, that's the one that we wanted. Get rid of that. Oh boy. Get rid of the Mishiko. That Invoke Despair didn't do a whole lot there, buddy. You did get to draw a card. Alright, we're going to try to move through his field here. Cool, we got a Blooming Sands. Not my favorite mana. We'll cast the Jukai Preserver. Pump the Naturalist. Swing for 7. Meat Hook for 4. That's a big weakness for this deck. More mana. My favorite. Put the Preserver back out. Keep applying pressure. Next turn we're swinging for 7/8. 8 if he puts a thing out. If he puts a creature out, we play Circle of Confinement, trap the creature, deal 8 damage. He goes down to 2, we're at 26. Or we just deal 4 damage. Count Dracula. Are we playing...
You deal with this annoyance.
Huh. Grabbing that. Get rid of Count Dracula. I think we might be in Alchemy.
This may never be restored now.
Come on, Arena. We never want to play Alchemy. He draws a card. We'll let it resolve. Problem is, opponent has plenty of steam left, and we're kind of running out of steam. More control. That's fine. Swing. 6. Down to 5. Siphon Insight again. Alright, what did he get? No, a Visitor. That's good. It blocks the damage. Draws a card off of the Bank Buster. Mana. My turn. Alright, let's see how he responds to this. He should have a response here. Dissipate. Let's channel this one. Yeah, you channel it, you exile it for a turn, it comes back with a 1/1 counter on it. Swing. Yes! Victory! Maybe not as bad as people assume. Yeah, we don't have any white mana, but we do have 2 Commune with spirits in hand. I think it's keep. Opponent is on the play, we are on the draw. There's the white mana. So we don't need to waste a Commune looking for mana. We could grab a Mashiko. And a Defender deck, huh? Never have I ever seen that. Not for a long time at least. Let's see what the opponent has to offer with a Defender deck. Yeah, no blocks. We don't want to give that up that easy. Spirited Dog. Put the counter on the Generous Visitor. Draws a card. So we now have... We've drawn 3 of our Communes. Circle. And no attacks. He just blocks with the wall. And we don't have the defenders. A 3rd wall. That's really good. Okay, okay. So, I don't think we're going to need this to kill enchantments. I think we will start pumping our dog. Grabbing the bulwark. Right? And then maybe Commune. We need to find something. Weaver of Harmony is really good right here. Yeah, we want the blockers up. Just in case. What is that? Whenever another creature enters the battlefield with Defender, make a flyer, right? Yeah. Alright. Now we just Weaver. Make the dog bigger. We want the biggest boy. The biggest good boy. Make this dog freaking huge. Swing for 9. Chump blocking, but with what? 1/1 bird? Yep. Gets rid of one of our targets for the touch of the Spirit Realm. Alright, Candle Trap on the Visitor. He is now a defensive visitor. Those are the worst kinds of visitors. Yep, easy block. Had to take the rest. Make the dog big. Alright. Circle. Add another thingamabob to the Spirit of Harmony. Grab Adeline. Tap the Weaver. Copy the Spirit. Grab. We cannot grab the Chaplain. A bird. Takes away some of that air defense. Swing with our dog. We gotta make them respect this deck. Alright. Pass his prerogative back, and he's down to 11. That's what we want to see. That is what we want to see. Next turn we touch of the Spirit Realm. And then we have a really big Mashiko. Yep, there's another bird. Congratulations on your bird. I get how you would want to build a deck around this in draft, but I don't know. It doesn't seem that great. Definitely resolve the Mashiko Reign of Truth, and it turns into Portrait of Mashiko. We got another big boy out there. And we get Kami of Transience. Look at the board state that our opponent has, and still hasn't really been able to do damage. Do that. Make our good boy bigger. And grab the Chaplain. Tap the Weaver of Harmony. Copy the Touch the Spirit Realm. And I think we grab the Sentinel, or try to grab another bird. Start getting rid of these walls, I think. Okay. Moving on, swing with the little puppers. Wandering Emperor.
Run away. You'll be safer.
Pretty good.
My judgment
Pretty
is
good. Restoration of Ijanjo, also pretty good. Better played early game, but you know. Yeah, he has no cards in hand for so the first two are kind of worthless.
Show them how we greet our enemies.
Moving on. Naturalist. Make the Weaver bigger. And the Jukai Preserver. Make the Naturalist bigger. Make the Weaver of Harmony bigger. Okay. Do we even worry about the Wandering Emperor? I think so. We do something like this. Blocks with the 1/1, loses the Emperor.
Years of
Out of
training.
cards.
For this?
Swings with the birds. I'm gonna be taking 3 here. But I think we just swing with everything, right? I think that's it. I think we just swing. Let's put the Preserver down to just give ourselves a little bit of insurance here. Yeah, just make the Kami of Transience as big as possible. That's a big boy. Yeah. Yeah, taps it all out. That's totally fine. I don't know if he should be playing that deck. At least not in ranked. At least not in ranked. 2-0. We are in silver, so I'm not super excited about it. But, I mean, 2-0. I mean, this deck still has viability. Oh, boy. No creatures. Lots of control. Lots of control. We are in silver, so I'm not too super concerned. Tapped land. We should have put... man. Let me go back. We have the Blooming Sands. Free-to-play account. I don't have all my great lands. Okay, so now we're left with a choice. We need to get Kami down, I think. What you got? Get the draw card? Or is that a... oh, what do you call it? Fading Hope. Fading Hope, or he's going to draw a card. He does nothing instead. Probably thinks it's a better idea to Fading Hope when he's bigger, which is true. Dog. Draws a card. Okay. Swing. He lets it through. We will play the Blooming Sands. Get that tapped land out of the way. Then Jukai Naturalist. Yeah, we would have got one more damage off, but he might not have blocked with Doggo. I was hoping for a block. I mean, no reason to block with a 1/1 on a trample creature, but, you know, can't help but try. Naturalist and a Kami's on the field. Let's see what he wants to go with. Tap land, Aquafire. Zur. Get out of here, Zur. I've thought about splashing. That this would totally... It would mess up a lot of the things I want to do with enchantment decks. But that is a good card. Circle. Get the Zur. And we will Weaver of Harmony. And we will swing for 8. Getting a dog block? Dog block sounds good to me. Down to 10. We've seen some strange decks down here in Silver. Some strange decks indeed. I guess this is where playtesting happens for a lot of decks. Then once you get your deck, you just move up in rank. I don't know. Maybe these guys are like me on this profile and just playing what they have. I have a Zur, so I want to use it in a deck. We don't have much to support it, but hey, it's a deck. We get the rope. Voidrend to get the Zur back. Interesting choice. Pass his turn. He's got 2 mana up. So I think we circle again. And we're going to grab the Zur. Uh-oh, Infernal Grasp on the Kami of Transience. I mean, that's fine. It's not my favorite thing that ever happened, but... Grabbing the Zur. And then we are going to simply... Kami of Transience. And Machiko Reign of Truth. Hey, guess what? Kami's back, baby! Let's swing in for 9. This is fatal. Goes down to 6. Passes turn back to the opponent. We're at 31 health. I don't feel like we're going to be under any kind of life total strain here for a while. Let's see it. What do you got? Scry 2, draw a card. If it was kicked, put a land onto the battlefield. He did not kick it. So, what else you got? I'm going to guess with this hesitation is probably a whole lot of nothing. He passes turn. We pump the Naturalist. We resolve it. We swing in for, what is that, 12? Voidrend. Yeah, we'll let it go. Slow animation. Down to 1. Yeah, we'll happily take the Kami of Transience back. A third Zur. Boy crafted all 4 Zurs. Interesting. Hope it wasn't for this deck. Love you, buddy. Well, we know how to get Zurs out of the way. This uncommon card has killed all of your mythics. How's that feel? Must feel bad, man. Must feel bad. Artillery Blast does not stop him from dying. And that's it. 3-0. 3-0. And we're in gold. Alright, we got a tap land to start, but, you know, I mean, beggars can't be choosers, and with this portfolio, we are definitely begging. We're in gold now, so let's see what kind of opponents we're going to be facing here. Blooming Sands. The storefront. You don't see a whole lot of the storefronts. Kami of Transience. Great way to start a match. Please kill him. Do it. Do it. Yeah. You even pay 2 life to do it. That's great. Weaver of Harmony comes out. Not sure what that is. Permanent transforms into whatever attached to a player. Beginning of enchanted players upkeep, they lose 1 life and you gain 1 life. That's not strong enough to want to remove. Green. Swing. And do that. We got plenty of control, so I think we go with the Jukai Preserver. And we'll actually cast him next turn. Wandering Emperor. Alright. Now we got ourselves a magic match.
Must contend with me.
Let's channel that. Whoopsie. Protection. Yeah. Now we can get rid of that. I like the diversity of Touch of the Spirit Realm.
Still have much to learn.
Yep. Throwing down the Preserver, putting the counter on the Preserver. So for 4 we have a 5/5 on field. It's not terrible. Gives him a big threat that he has to deal with besides Weaver. So now he has to decide the better attribute or the stronger creature. That's why whenever like I'm putting 1/1s on things, I'll generally choose like the Spirited Dog or any kind of 1/1 token. He still goes after the actual correct card. Yep, we definitely want Kami of Transience back. That 1 life ping can end up hurting after a while, but for now it's no big deal. Spirited Dog. Draws a card. Naturalist. That's a great draw. Opponent down to 16. Now we switch life totals and let's see what he's got. He's got 3 cards left. March. So many removal spells on the Kami of Transience. I love it. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to commune with spirits. What do we get? Weaver's really the only option here. So we'll go with the Weaver. We'll play the Weaver. Opponent. Waiting on some sort of reaction from the opponent here. Not sure what that stick is. Now we could have some Meat Hook Massacres to deal with, so this is probably not the most optimal play, but the Jukai Preserver still gets beyond it. And if he wants to Meat Hook and leave my biggest threat on field, I'm not going to argue against that too much. He can't really swing here. If he does, we definitely let it through. Depopulate was not what I was expecting. But we can rebuild the field a little bit. It's not that big of a deal. It's kind of funny how he got the Nazuma Road Captain out right as he wiped the field. So, I mean, yeah, one of his few creatures it looks like in this deck. March on the Visitor. What you got for the Weaver of Harmony? What you got? March of Wretched Sorrow. Interesting. Alright, we will throw out the Generous Visitor. We are almost out of things to do. Passes right back to us. Circle can actually get that. So we're gonna Weaver of Harmony. The Visitor gets bigger. Opponent. There she is. Alright, keep pumping the Visitor. More roping from the opponent. Hey, I play on Arena. I get used to that. Your Leeching Lurker is no more. All that work to get that pumped up. I mean, that's why I like slow cards like that. Exiles target enchantment. Get rid of the Weaver of Harmony. I just want to get that off of the field so we can keep dealing damage. We got the opponent down to 12, so that's good. Aha! Fateful Absence. We're going to be drawing cards. Full-on control player here. Touch. Can't do anything, so we'll move on. He's done a really good job getting rid of the Kami. Smartly done by the opponent. Spirited Companion drawing a card. Not what we wanted. Not at all what we wanted. But hey, it's magic. Go ahead and end the turn. Pass back. Overseer comes out. Gains a life. Draws a card. Putting his life total even a little bit further out of reach. Commune. That's one of the better draws we could have had right there. Now we get to choose something out of the top four. If they all suck, I mean, hell, they all suck. Jukai Naturalist. Circle of Confinement on the Overseer. Fateful Absence. We will shift him out of the match just for a moment. Swing. Boom. He's back in action, baby. Tapped land. Depopulate his last card. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding. Kami. Mysterious Limousine. That's a card that I think is really good. Naturalist. Just go to your death, guys. Go to your death. He'll run out of removal eventually, right? Haha. Cast the Preserver. He is out of cards. We got a chance to do some damage, gain some health back. I like it. He's probably drawing removal as we speak. Close enough to removal. No attacks. We need to get more of our own removal from the deck. Oh, that would have been a beautiful, beautiful time. If he had swung, he would have lost that creature and we would have been back on the offense. Would have lost the Naturalist there. Yeah, you cost 3, so Circle will do just fine. Grab it. Nah, we won't attack. We don't need to. You gotta be kidding me. A third depopulate. A little bit greedy there, opponent. Very much so greedy. Generous Visitor. Another land. That's not what we wanted. We'll toss a land and pass back. We'll get a damage off in that round. We're both still holding pretty strong here. Okay, you want the generous visitor? Alright, give me back the Kami. Doesn't want the visitor. Probably smart. We gotta draw to something good. Kami of Transience is not what we needed, but it's what we got. Beggars and choosers. Wow, hates that card apparently. Take the opponent down to 9. That might have been a should have held kind of deal, but you know. Oh yeah, we'll get rid of the dog. Doggo goes away. What else you got? Cruise. Swings. Puts us to 7. Naturalist is probably one of the better draws we could have had right there. Now, we could swing here. If he puts me back down, if he puts me down to 3, we'll be gaining 2 life. We're down to 3. Mishiko. Oh my god. Let's see if we're able to pull it off. Swing. Got him. Whoa. What a match. What a match. Another pretty crafty little deck. Pretty greedy with all those depopulates in it, but they all seem to find targets. You know, they all seem to find targets. So, yeah. Let's move on. Let's go to a post-game wrap. I am going to keep using this, but we'll talk about it a little bit. So, a lot of people assume that enchantments are not good anymore because, well, I mean, hey, they have a 40% win rate in untap.gg, but I have a reason to suspect that the reason why it has such a low win rate is because specifically a lot of people are playing this deck, and it's pretty spotty if you don't know exactly what you're wanting to do and you don't know what your opponent is playing. If you have a pretty decent idea of what your opponent is going to do and have, you got a much better chance because you know what to eliminate with the Touch of the Realm Spirit. You know what to eliminate with the Circle of Confinement. You know to hold them in your hands until you could probably get a Weaver of Harmony down. One thing this deck does lack is draw power. We had that with the Ruins. It was really good with the Ruins whenever you could draw infinite cards with your Ruins, and you had the whatever of the Scalds, and that made the enchantments very good as well. But even though they lost a lot of things, I still think this is a viable deck. Like, I think it's still viable. It's just, you know, I think that you have to know how to use it. We didn't even have Catilda in this deck because we ain't crafting her yet. We ain't crafting her yet. But even though we did not have Catilda, we were able to hold our own pretty well in those matches, and there were a couple matches where I thought we were going to lose. That last one in particular I thought was going to go down as a loss, but the opponent was playing a very greedy removal deck, very greedy, a lot of marches, and on top of that 3D populates. He probably had his 4th in the deck somewhere that we didn't see. It was very greedy, and it ended up costing him in the end, where he didn't have enough to just push me over at the end of the game, and we were able to come back, get a lucky draw on the Mishiko's Reign of Truth, and push through him pretty well. Very close match, but we ended up with the victory. We were 4-0, and even though we are playing in the lower echelons at the moment, I still think that that means it's pretty viable. I don't, once you get to like Mythic, you know, not only do the decks get better, right, much better, much stronger decks, but you're going to be facing players that are very competent when it comes to playing their cards. Not nearly as much as in Diamond or in Mythic, but they're still very, very good, and I think that this deck could at least get you to platinum, if not higher, depending on how well you utilize your tools. I definitely wouldn't put the Jukai Natural or Preserver in here. That spot is going to be held by Catilda. Yeah. Well, not Catilda. I'm sorry. What is that creature? Cost 3. Adeline. That's it. We didn't have the Adeline in here. Right. But that's the kind of deck you'd be running to run right there. This is it. Or, you know, even the Hallowed Hauntings, right? If we were to remove Adeline. These guys right here. Or the Hallowed Hauntings. 3 of these dudes, right? This allows you to basically create a spirit every time to either chump block or get bigger and bigger. Once you have 7 or more enchantments, creatures you control have flying and vigilance, right? You want those kinds of things. This was the deck that I presented was a weaker enchantment deck, but it still performed very well, very well. So, and it was very budget friendly as well. So you had the 4 Weaver of Harmonies. That's gold. And the rest of the stuff is uncommon and stuff. So you're looking at 4, 5, 13 rares, no mythics. 13 rares, no mythics for this deck. And I made it on a free-to-play account after making a big Goblin deck and trying to create content off of that for a few months before I went back to making content with my other channel. You know, I was trying to make primarily content off of this channel, so I busted all my rares, I busted all my mythics, I busted a bunch of card packs and this and that, did a bunch of things on this account that I probably shouldn't have done, right? And we were still able to put this deck together right before rotation happened, and it still gets wins, it still beats, it still wins. So I mean, I've seen, and one of my favorite YouTubers for Magic the Gathering is Covert Go Blue. He's very good, actually. He's a very good player, but he's very negative on this deck because he sees the stat lines on this deck and it ain't good, it ain't pretty. So but I don't want people to get discouraged from playing this deck, because if it's not expected, it can get wins. A lot of the meta shifting in Magic the Gathering, especially in the arena, is based off of perspectives of decks. And if you're not expecting enchantment deck, it could roll right over you in the 4th or 5th turn. Could roll you right down, right? But if you are expecting, and this is where I think a lot of the untap.gg stats come from, right, is people expecting to see enchantments and being able to run them right over because they're expecting it. They know it's going to happen. As soon as they see green, as soon as they see white, enchantments, all right, we know what we have to remove, you know. But if your deck is not capable of dealing with this threat, it could run you over very quickly. So I still think there's a place for enchantments. We should not dismiss them right out of the gate. And that's all I have for you today. That's it. That's all the words I have. I am going to put this one in the link below because I don't think Hollow Hunting works great in this particular build. We're going to add the 3 Adelines. And this is the deck that you guys are going to get right here in the description below, right down there. Go ahead and give it a click. Check me out on AetherHub as well. I put all my decks over there for your exploration pleasures. All my decks are over there, so go check them all out. They're really cool. Except for a couple that are kind of crappy. But they're still over there. You can check those out too. Get a good laugh out of it. But until next time, this is Coffee Stout. Bye.